Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Allison. I make cleaning and lifestyle videos every week. Make sure you subscribe down below so you don't miss any videos. Today I'm going to be doing a product review. I'm going to be reviewing the Greenpan. You can see I got a full set here. I got these as a Christmas gift from my fiance, so I thought I'd give you a quick review so you can decide if this is something that you might want to purchase for yourself. I got the box set here, which you can see, and I also got the separate pan, which you have to purchase separately, so this is not part of the set, but it is available. The reason that we decided to get these was we did some research and we kind of realized that the Teflon that was in pans we already had is pretty unhealthy for you. It releases a lot of things that are really toxic, so we decided to switch to something that's a little bit healthier. And this is a ceramic nonstick, which is a little bit different than a Teflon-based pan. What they have here, they say it's diamond enhanced nonstick. I don't know exactly the details of it, but I'm assuming there's some sort of ground up diamond in the surface. It's supposed to be free of PFAs, PFOA, lead, and cadmium. So it is supposedly supposed to be a much healthier option than a Teflon pan. I have used them just a little bit, but I haven't used all of the pans yet. I'm going to show you at least cooking some eggs in one of them so you can see how the nonstick works. So far I have been pretty pleased with them. I wanted to show you a little bit of the structure. So the full set comes with 7 pans, and it comes with lids for 4 of those pans. It does come with this cute little itty bitty tiny itty bitty egg pan, which I think is really cute. It's really tiny. You could probably only cook 1 egg in it, but I really think it is a cute little pan. It's got more of a plastic handle. And I think they're really well structured. They're put together really well. You can see, kind of, if I try to show you a close-up of what the handles look like here. And you can see that the actual interior is sort of a white color. It's very smooth, and I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but it actually almost looks like little diamonds if you get it in the right light. It kind of has a shimmer effect to it, which I'll try to show you. I don't know how effective that's going to be on camera, but it has a really pretty shimmer effect in certain lighting. I'm guessing that's because of a little bit of diamond that is in it. I also wanted to show you just the lid here and how it's constructed. It's just a simple screw-in lid. It's pretty simple, but it does look like it's going to be pretty sturdy. I don't think that this is going to fall apart after a few uses. It looks like it's going to be pretty durable and effective in the long run. You know, I can't tell you exactly how well these are going to last long term because I just don't know because I haven't had them that long, but they do feel very sturdy and relatively heavy for pans. I'm also going to put the price of the set over here so you have an idea of how much this costs. And I'll also try to put a price of that separate pan over here because it is a separate cost. But I do think it's a size that you really need to have if you do a lot of cooking like I do. So I do wanted to give you an idea of what you're going to be spending to buy a full set. The set also did come with some wooden utensils and a strainer, which I'll show you now. It came with 4 wooden utensils, but I have one in the dishwasher. So here's 3 of the wooden utensils. They're just simple wooden sort of spoons. They're nice. They'll be handy. And it came with this little tiny strainer, which is kind of interesting because it's kind of small, but it's flat. I don't have any strainers that are like this, and I like that it has a handle, so I do think I will use this to strain things sometimes. But that's kind of a nice little bonus item that they include in the set. Now there are a few sort of restrictions on how to use these pans so that you don't wear down the nonstick. I was reading, and you have to be careful not to use anything like metal. You're not allowed to use any kind of cooking spray, so if you use a lot of cooking spray, I would not recommend these for that. If that's something you're used to using, because it can actually wear down the nonstick surface on these. So if you're a nonstick spray person, then you might want to look for something else. But if you cook mostly with oil, these might be a good choice for you. I was surprised in the little instructions, it says not to use olive oil on these, which I cook with a lot. So I'm going to have to either cook with some other oil or figure out some other way to sort of oil my pans. Maybe I'll switch to butter, but that is something else to keep in mind as well. It does come with a little instruction booklet with all the sort of rules on how to clean them and care for them. You cannot use any steel wool, no metal on these. Anything that's going to scratch them is going to damage the nonstick surface. So it's important to keep that in mind if you're going to, be taking care of these so that they last for a long time, which hopefully you do if you buy a set, because it's not the most inexpensive set. It is kind of a pricey set. So you want to make sure that you're taking good care of it so it lasts as long as it can. I'm going to just show you each pan too so you get an idea of the size and weight. We've got this sort of pan that I think you'd use to boil like potatoes or something, and it's pretty good size. You can see here. You can see this is a 5-quart casserole pan. This is how it's listed on the box. And the lid's pretty sturdy. It goes right on top of there. So that I think will be very handy for when I'm boiling things. There's also this 2-quart saucepan. This is the idea that you're supposed to be using this for sauces, and it does have a lid for that purpose. But I'll probably also use it to fry some things up as well, because it's a pretty good sized pan. You know, if you wanted to fry something up without the lid, that would be very handy for this also. This is a little tiny 5-inch fry pan, which I think is really cute. It's like a little baby pan. And for some reason, the handle is different on this than all the other pans. The other pans all have this sort of green handle, and this does come in another color. I think it's maybe gray. I'll put it maybe over here, what the other color that I saw available. There may be more color choices than what I saw. There were 2 at the store that I was looking at, but I liked this color more. There's a little 8-inch fry pan, just for frying things, and also a 10-inch, which is a little bit larger. You know, it's kind of nice to have 2 fry pans, especially if you cook a lot, because you'll be cooking, you know, maybe 2 things at once. So it's good to have a few options on different sizes and styles. And there's 2 more saucepans. This one, the bigger one is 2.2 quarts, and the smaller one's a 1.2 quart. So you can see here, these 2 pans, I'll show you each separately. And both of these have a lid. So this is probably good to just cook some vegetables or something real small in. And this is sort of a slightly larger one. It's not much bigger, but it is a little larger if you need to boil something, cook something in here. Now the other pan that we bought separately is 5 quart, and it's pretty big. I had a pan very similar to this in my old set, and I used it all the time. It was what I cooked almost everything in, just because it was such a good size. So I'll probably I'll be cooking with this probably more than anything else that I have. So that's what the whole set looks like. You do have to be aware that this is not dishwasher safe. It is something you have to hand wash with a soft cloth. So there is some work that's going to be going into taking care of these, washing them, making sure they don't get scratched or damaged. So that's something to keep in mind too. If you don't want to hand wash something, this might not be the set for you. But if you're used to hand washing your pots and pans, then that's probably not going to be a big issue. I've always hand washed all my pans in the past, so that's nothing different than what I'm used to. And if you get the set, I do recommend reading through the little booklet that comes with it, because there is a lot of useful information on here. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know about taking care of them that I found was useful when I read through it. So I do recommend that if you get this, you actually read the care guide, because it's not something that you just skip over and not need to read. It also does tell you on the little there's a sticker in every pan, and it tells you that it works best at low and medium heats. The booklet will tell you that if you use a lot of high heat cooking on these pans, it will wear off the nonstick surface. So if you're used to cooking at a high heat, these might not be the right pans for you, so you need to keep that in mind as well. I usually do cook at things at a medium heat most of the time, so this is not going to be an issue for me. It says use a little oil or butter and avoid cooking sprays with this, and to hand wash. That's the sort of basic care guide that comes on every pan. There's a sticker in here that tells you this, so you can keep that kind of in mind. And then the more detailed stuff is in the little booklet. I think overall, I'd probably give this set a 4 out of 5. I'm going to take a little point off because it is a lot of work to take care of it. You can't use it in the dishwasher, so that is kind of inconvenient. And I also think that just taking care of it in general is a lot of work compared to some other types of pans. So that is something that I kind of wanted to knock a little bit of a point off for. However, it is a lot healthier, I think, than other pans that are on the market. I think it's less likely to put things that are toxic in your food. So that is definitely something that's going to boost this up, in my opinion. And I'm going to go ahead and show you a video of me cooking an egg. Non-stick surface in this works really well. I might be more impressed because I've had my other pans a long time, and I think the non-stick kind of wore off on them. But so far, nothing I have cooked on this has stuck at all. It just comes right off the edge of the pan. It just doesn't stick at all. It's like the perfect non-stick surface. So I want to show that to you. And I'm just going to scramble a couple of eggs up just so you can see them. And I'll probably put them in a larger pan just so you can really see what's going on in the pan. And so I hope this is helpful. I'm going to start by just adding a little bit of butter to the pan so it'll kind of melt and hopefully help with the non-stick for the eggs. And it is recommended to use wooden or plastic utensils with these. Just as a reminder, you don't want to use anything metal because it will scratch off the non-stick surface. And I read somewhere that whipping your eggs right before you put them in the pan makes them a little bit more fluffy. So a little cooking tip on the side of my review. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see the pan a little bit better as well. One little other note is I found that things cook pretty quickly in this pan. The heat's really evenly distributed, so I think it cooks a little faster than my other pans cooked. That's just something to keep in mind if you're used to cooking something for a certain amount of time. You may need to make an adjustment on how long you cook things. First few times that you use this, you kind of just want to watch and see how quickly things cook. And I really want to kind of show you the non-stick, so I'm going to be pushing this around a lot just so you can see how it's moving on the pan as well. Try to give you a really good idea of how this works. This is actually the first time I've made eggs in these pans, and I'm really impressed. It's not getting that little bit of flaky stuff on the edges that I usually will get with I'll usually get that with eggs with other pans, and I'm not getting any of it. It may be just because I'm pushing it around so much to show you, but there's really nothing sticking on the edges at all, other than just a little bit that's kind of cooked onto the pan. But it really is a lot better than my other pans that I've used. At least for cooking eggs, it seems to be a really big improvement from my other Teflon pans. So I hope that you can see how well this is working. I hope this shows on camera for you. And there you have it. There are my eggs. I like mine a little bit dry, so they're probably a little bit dry looking to you, but that's how I like to eat mine. So you can see here, turn down the heat and show you what they look like in the pan. There's very little sticking at the base. The finished product. So I hope you enjoyed it. And you can actually see there's a lot stuck to the actual spoon itself, but the pan there's nothing sticking really, so that's pretty impressive. So thank you so much for coming by, and I hope you all have a beautiful day today. Bye!